May profits be upon you. Welcome to another weekly market forecast. In this video, we're going to go over the S&P, the NASDAQ, and the Dow. Okay? Now, I have already gone over the FX pairs to include the US dollar index. All right? And everything kind of bounces off of what happens with the US dollar index, whether it's weak or whether it's strong. And we can kind of determine whether we're going to be in a risk on environment or risk off environment. I highly suggest you go back and review that video that I did. I already posted it maybe about 5-10 minutes ago, and check it out. So you'll be better informed about the trades you might make this coming week. Now, as far as the equities are concerned, let's start with the S&P. We're looking at the monthly forecast, a monthly time frame. I don't know what's wrong with me. All right. So what I want you to see is that, yeah, still bullish. Everybody get that? Too easy, right? Shall I do it again? Still bullish. All right. Look at how the second half of the month is going. First we come on, man. We come all the way down, and then we have this hard push up. All right. Now, normally when I see a wick like this on the higher time frames, I'm looking to see, is there bullish fair value gap? Is there something inside of this wick on the lower time frames that allows me to say, hey, price is going to probably continue up higher? Or do I see enough evidence in there that says, oh, well, we don't have any fair value gaps, and there's an indication that we may go low? So we're going to take a look at that. But I want to point out that we are bullish because we have a bullish break of market structure and a continuation of the overall bullish trend. 1, 2, we have this area that created the area of fair value. Boom, boom, right? Price comes back into that area of fair value, and I'm looking to see if price finds support to continue higher and continue this higher, low bullish trend. That's it. This is that simple. Now, I want to point out that we ran into an area of demand here. All right, and you can see that gold line I have right there. All right, that is an area of fair value, and you wait till price comes back into those areas of fair value to see if it will hold and continue price in that direction. All right, and we can see that we had the desired kind of reaction, this bullish reaction here. But what's going on with this wick? Let's go down a time frame where I usually find if there's support for higher prices. And in this case, that's not really there. Why? Because when price closed here on this candle, right? When that candle closed, price gapped down and opened here, and it was a bullish candle. So we had that bullish rally. And everybody said, "Oh yeah, well, shoot, that was close. Looks like we aren't going to have a crash." No. Don't get too happy too quick. This could be a dead cat bounce. All right, and we had the rally, the biggest rally we've seen in stock market history and all, whatever they're talking about. All right, that's fine, but we have an inside candle that followed that up, and it closed bearishly last week. All right, and we closed below the close of the previous candle, let alone the high and low. We are inside of this candle. All right, this isn't a necessarily bearish sign, but it most definitely ain't the most bullish sign. All right, so and I tend to lean towards it being bearish because it closed in that direction. It closed bearishly. All right, so I want to see how this next candle opens and which way do we go? Do we feel something? Is there something inside of this bullish candle that says on the lower time frame that we have the possibility of finding support and making price move higher? Let's take a look. We go down lower to the daily, and we do not see the development of bullish fair value gaps. It pushes up, and then we have the retracement. We have a big wick, we have another inside candle. All right, price pushes up, it gaps up, then we gap down, and we got all these little tiny gaps, right? And here's the last one on Friday, another inside candle. All right, small range, not a lot happening. All right, are we going to come back and sweep these lows? That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that we may come back and sweep these lows because I do not see the bullish fair value gaps that price could use to push down into and launch from to take out the buy side liquidity here at these highs and continue higher. I don't see it here. All right. If we go to the 4-hour, and I don't like going too far with this, but what we can see is there is an area of fair value here, right? That price pushed up, took out these highs. So we're bullish, and this is my low. This is my protected low, and this is my high. All right, and I'm looking for price to pull back into this area of fair value here and push higher. We had that chance, but we did not take out the high. We attempted to a couple of times, but it never took out that high. And here we come. We start breaking minor structure to the downside. All right, and here we are here, kind of petered out. Right, looks like a bull flag. For some people, that's going to, signal to them, hey, man, we might be shooting up high, right? I don't trade that way. All right. I want to say, hey, as long as price stays above this low, all right, I'm looking for price to give me a legitimate setup to take prices higher. All right. But we are in bearish territory. All right. So if price continues down, because that's what we've been doing for how long now? You can see it since February. All right, since February, since the beginning of the year, where we reached the highs, we've been pretty bearish. Now we had this bullish break of market structure, which would make me bullish, right? Which would have my bias be good to the upside, but I'm waiting for. I'm not taking any trades in the middle of this mess. All right, where it peters out. It's lifeless. All right, we might get that on Monday as well because it's bank holidays and all. There's no red folders on Tuesday, so we might get more of the same. But when if price closes below this low, right, closes below that low, it may. That's when I'll start thinking about bearish setups. I won't be pursuing anything bullish, and definitely if it takes out this low, if it closes below this low and takes these lows out, I'm looking for price to pull back into a bearish fair value gap so I can take a high probability trade to the downside. You understand? Looking here, here, and here. That's it. While it's in a range, in the middle of a range, I'm not doing anything. If it starts to break and close below that low, that's when I start thinking, maybe we might be starting to move bearishly. And if it breaks that low with a break and close below it, I will definitely be looking for a retracement back into the bearish leg and a continuation to the downside. If we look at NASDAQ on the same monthly, again, you can see it's bullish. All right, that's easy. And we hit the area of demand here, and we had a lovely reaction to it, just like in the S&P. If we go to the weekly, I ask myself, do we see anything in here, in that bullish candle that says price can support higher prices or lower prices? Let me go down to the daily. We don't see the bullish fair value gaps at all. All right, same thing with the S&P. It did pull back. All right, pulled up, failed to go higher. All right, no follow through. We started to go lower. If price starts to trade below this low, there's no reason for me to be thinking long. That's it. That's all there is to it. I'm waiting for a break of structure that will confirm that price is trying to move higher, a break above that high, and a pullback into a fair value gap. That would make me want to think about taking more longs because we already have this area of fair value here, and price has pulled back into it, failed to, follow through after making this high here. We didn't take out that high yet, but we are still in the area of fair value here. All right, we're just taking a second dip into it. All right, and I'd like to see price move higher from here. That's what I would like to do. All right, that would make the most sense. I don't want to wait for shorts at, where it has to get down to these levels here. All right, so I'm looking for longs. I'm looking for longs to follow up after making this break of structure here. Boom, 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 boom. I'm looking for higher prices. Same thing with the Dow. All right, I'm just going back to the daily. We don't have to go through the whole thing again. All right, because it's the same situation. Price is respecting this bearish fair value gap here on the daily. We have a 2-candle pullback here, one going in, one going out. I love it seeing that way, and we are heading down. All right, this looks like this is more bearish than the others. All right, this looks like it wants to make lower prices. I'm watching to see if price breaks that low, just like in the others. All right, in the NASDAQ and the S&P. I'm waiting for price to break that low before, and I want to see if it closes below that low. And I'd be happy to take the pullback and then continue down. That's what I'd do. That's what I would be thinking about that. It's a little aggressive because you would want to wait till this low is taken, really. All right, but on the 4-hour, if I see the structure in place, yeah. As long as this low is, if this low gets taken, I'll be looking to see if there's a bearish fair value gap, some kind of displacement, so that price can push back up into it, so I can take a short from there. That's it. I'm going to go over gold, silver, and the metals. There's oil in this one too. Look for those videos because I'm going to make sure I get them done. I hope you enjoyed this video. All right. If you did, make sure you leave a like, and I would appreciate that, first of all. And make sure that you leave a comment or question. If you have a different way of seeing how the markets are going to play out this week, I would love to hear it. All right, and make sure you include one of your charts or a markup. Okay, and that's it. That's it for me, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.